All right. I know people are still getting their lunch and still getting settled, but we want to get started. We've got a packed agenda today. Welcome to the Rotary Club of San Jose and our 5,374th meeting. I'm your president, Sal Pizarro. Yeah, Sean O'Kane, thank you for the applause. It's about time. I'd like to welcome you all, and I'd like to thank the Enterprise Leadership Conference Committee, headed by Randy Zeckman, for greeting us in the lobby. We're going to be hearing from them in a little bit. But right now, I want to have our red badgers with traveling microphones stand up and introduce themselves so we could quickly get through introductions of visiting Rotarians and guests. Let's see, Catherine, why don't we start with you?
Hello, everyone. I'm Catherine Lindo. My sponsor is Sarju Naran. He's not here today. And I'm currently a student in court reporting school. And I believe I will be helping out with the gala committee this year. So nice to meet everyone.
Fantastic. Nice to meet you. And Josh.
Hi, everyone. My name is Josh Grossworth. I work for the Salvation Army in the development department. And my sponsor is Steve Prouty. I'm not sure if he's here today. And really excited to meet all of you at some point. Still exploring some of my subcommittees. So if you have one that's interesting, I'd love to hear about it. Thanks.
Great. We're going to have to form a sponsor search party at some point, I guess, to look for some of these people. Okay, so if visiting Rotarians and Rotarians with guests can please stand so we can get them introduced. Once again, we're going to try to start from this side and move our way over. Ron, let's start.
Mr. President, Ron Zarek, Petrinovich Pugh & Company CPAs. I have with me actually 4 guests today. Rahat is sitting at this table. She's been to Rotary before. I believe this is Antonia's first visit to the Rotary Club of San Jose. Wave, Antonia, please. And Rob Lau has been here a number of times. And then Decca it's her first time. And you'll have to forgive me, I'm filling in for Arthur Zhu. They're supposedly his guests, but I stepped in at the last minute. I know a little bit about Rob, and a little bit about Rahat. Looking forward to learning more about the other guests.
Well, we look forward to talking to you all at some point, and welcome, and you filled in admirably for Arthur. Sean O'Kane.
Hey, Sean O'Kane, Big Kahuna Productions, video and voiceover. My guest today is Daryl Cortez, president of Shop with a Cop, right here.
Wonderful to have you, Daryl. Great to see you as always.
Tim Hagstrom, President Sal. My guest today is my brother Greg, recently a member of the Hayward Club, but he's involved in a household move right now. So he's going to be with me for a couple of weeks.
Okay. It's been probably a while since that's happened. Welcome. Good to have you here, Greg. John?
Hello, President Sal. I have my guest here, Joe Cook. He's the newest addition to our Heritage Bank lending team, vice president with over 20 years of banking experience.
Fantastic. Welcome to our club.
Hello, President. Linda Neufeld from Express Employment Professionals. My guest today is Dawn. She's from our Seattle office, and she is also a Rotarian. Thank you.
Okay. A visiting Rotarian from Washington. I think that's going to be a theme today.
Mr. President, fellow Rotarians, my name is Ed Janke. I should be introduced by Arthur Weisbrot, but as usual, he's late.
We will refrain from calling him the late Arthur Weisbrot, though. Sarah.
Good afternoon, President Sal. I have the pleasure of introducing someone who is actually now a visiting Rotarian. Her name is Kathy Kimball, and she is a magnificent former member of this club, and she's brought a flag for you.
I want that flag. From which club is she visiting?
Bellevue Rotary Club, right in between Seattle and where I live now in Sammamish, Washington. So some people might not know, but I kind of snuck out of town in December of 2020, moved to Washington to be closer to our 2, almost now 3 granddaughters. So yeah, we're having a good life, but I still have The reason I'm down here, everybody, I hope you're coming tonight to the Lee Weimer's Emerging Artists event at Mama Ken's on South First Street. And I have a flag.
Fantastic. Bring that flag up.
Short enough. Let's see. Can I get these?
Thank you. All right, now we continue after our brief interlude. Randy.
Randy Zeckman from Clean Solar. I have no flags to give you, but I could give you a dirty napkin if you'd like. My guest today is Micah Johnson. He's my business partner at Clean Roofing.
Fantastic. Micah, welcome to our club. Okay, are you guys fighting over it? Okay.
President Sal, Vincent Seri, pleased to welcome JP Sahi, who is the Executive Director of Rotocare Bay Area.
JP, great to have you here. Thank you for all your work you do for Rotocare.
Good afternoon, President Sal. Chris DeSalvo, Public Relations, and I'm pleased to introduce my husband today, Joseph DeSalvo, on the Santa Clara County Board of Education and a lecturer at San Jose State University in Justice Studies.
Joe, good to see you as always. Anyone, do we have one more back here? Is that? Nope. Okay. And Arthur has arrived, so. All right, so this past weekend was the district's mid-year conference. You may not have known that because I probably didn't tell you, but I was there and we had a number of Rotarians there, and Matt Bell did a fantastic job talking about membership to the district and explaining some of what practices we do, including what our Red Badge committees does and what our recruitment and retention practices are, and some ideas we have for the future, which is a great segue to bring Matt Bell up right now to talk about membership to us.
Good afternoon, everybody. It was nice to be there amongst all the Rotarians on a very wet Saturday, but the thing that really dawned on me is, we're really different than so many other clubs just because of our size and all that, but the big difference is, and I think what most clubs really aspire to get to is, we have really one huge membership committee, and that's really all of you that are thinking about it, asking people to come to Rotary, sharing Rotary with other people, and that's why we're having the stellar recruitment year that we are. And if I can just advance the slide. So here's the update. Look where we are just halfway through the year. The goal of 40, we're already at 30 new members. How about a hand for them? So, and just again, as a reminder, not just 30 anybody's, but 30 outstanding new Rotarians, that the quality is just incredible. And that's because all of you are taking a look at yourself in the mirror and saying, I want to recruit more people just like me and just like the people around these tables. So great job to you all. Our diversity, just some stats as we're tracking here. We're about 45% female of the new members that have joined thus far, and 30% persons of color. So good progress there. Just wanted to note how that's shaping up thus far. I just wanted to list here all of the new members to date. So if you're actually here, I ask you to just stand up and wave if you're a new member thus far this year. If you're on Zoom, raise your hand on Zoom and let's just acknowledge you. And again, welcome you all to the club. And then again, just want to acknowledge those of you who have sponsored new members thus far. So again, if you're on this list, how about please stand so we can acknowledge you once again. But look at some of these folks. Of course, Mr. Rotary, Rod Dearden, with 4 new members again thus far. So have you heard this stat? I think Rod's been in the club since, Rod, if you're here, you started in the early 70s, I think. Anyway, he's up about 150 members that he has recruited to Rotary over his lifetime. That's like 4 regular size Rotary clubs total just for one person. So I want to recognize Rod and everybody else who's doing a great job. We've got a couple of others, Celeste, Dick Conniff, Ed, Karen, Steve, and James with 3. So he's given Rod a run for his money this year. Thank you for all of the work that you're doing to increase and enhance our membership. Have a great day.
Thank you, Matt. And it's like these agendas work themselves through because now we're going to introduce a new member. So I'd like to bring up Ed Correa to introduce our newest member, Lauren Edwards.
Okay. I've been promised I get to stay up here, so this will be my new hangout. Anyway, two fantastic individuals who are on the slide before I have the privilege of introducing. First is Lauren Edwards. She is a native of California. She was born and raised in Santa Cruz. She attended Cabrillo College, transferred to San Jose State, go Spartans, and then attended Baylor Law School in Waco, Texas. Lauren is licensed to practice law in both Texas and California. Professionally, Lauren is a founding partner at Gomez Edwards Law Firm, started in January of 2016. Her law firm practices local family law, estate planning, and mediation services. She is active in the Santa Clara Bar Association, Silicon Valley Bar Association, as well as the Bar Association of Lawyers and Individual Freedom. I had no idea there were so many of these associations. While the past 7 years have been full of adventure of starting a new business, Lauren has felt that a gap in her life. She's had a lingering question. Instead of just being a business owner in a community, how can I be part of the community itself? That is what brings her to Rotary now. The opportunity to build deeper relationships and give back to the community that she's part of is something she's wanted part of in her entire life. You're going to love getting to know Lauren. I certainly do. She's very warm, friendly, and outgoing, and embodies the spirit of Rotary. Please join me in welcoming our newest Rotarian, Lauren Edwards.
Thank you. That was really wonderful. I'm going to keep this very short because there's two of us. So I just want to say how overjoyed I am to be in the room with all of you and how much I look forward to getting to know you. And like Ed mentioned, to be a part of the San Jose community and giving back to it. So thank you all very much.
Now we're going to advance the slide because you're on number 2 now.
I'm seeing the magic behind the podium. Okay, next up, whoa, that's loud. Next up is my friend David Cowan. Dave is the founder and CEO of the Silicon Valley Sales Group, or SVSG. He coaches and trains professionals, business owners, sales teams, and friends like me in his spare time. He started Silicon Valley Sales Group almost 6 years ago. After a 30-year career in high-tech sales and executive leadership. Dave grew up in Orinda, earned a BA and MBA at UC Berkeley. I didn't include that. I got to do that next time. After high school, he was an exchange student to Switzerland and studied at the University of York in England. Both experiences contributed to a lifelong passion of learning, living, and working abroad. After graduating from college, Dave transferred to Japan. This is where it really gets interesting, where he taught in a public school system. He then traveled for a year around Asia, returning to Japan, where he met his wife, Keiko, and started a career in international sales. Overall, he spent 10 years living and working in Japan. Keiko and Dave moved from Japan to Santa Clara in 1997. And they raised 2 children, Natalie, 30, and Joe, 26. Keiko and Dave enjoy travel, hiking, and antiquing, and Dave himself enjoys cooking, sailing, and researching their genealogy. In 2017, Dave joined the Rotary Club of Santa Clara to serve his community and make friends with like-minded people. After serving Santa Clara for 4 years, he decided to join our club, so he's upgraded. Where he looks forward to working with all of you to serve our local and global communities. Please join me in welcoming our newest Rotarian, David Cowan. Thank you. Thank you, President Sal. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. And like Lauren, I thank you all for the opportunity to work with you to the betterment of our local and our global communities. I think the power of Rotary is in each one of us, and I think seeing what San Jose Rotary has done over the years and what we continue to do, I truly look forward to working with all of you in that regard, in that effort. So thank you very much. I look forward to it. All right. Papers off your desk, sir.
All right. Okay, the next big project is moving along nicely, and to give us an update on it, I'd like to welcome Greg Kepferly, JP, and Vince, and Mike Block. We've got a whole group coming up here, so welcome.
5 minutes. Yep, 5 minutes. All right. We'll run through this quickly. Really excited the progress we're making on this project. On your tables, you'll find a flyer, and that flyer gives you some really important statistics and progress we're making on this project. But today, we really want you to hear from our partners. 3 incredible partners. We have JP Sahi, who is the Executive Director of Rotacare Bay Area, Greg Kepperly, the CEO of Catholic Charities of Santa Clara County, and Mike Block, past president, as you know, but also who is involved with Rotacare as a board member and a co-hospitaler of the Western region. So I'll let them give you the update.
Thank you. Good afternoon. So I'm briefly going to talk about what our process is in reviewing quotes and looking at vendors for the mobile clinic. So what we did is we, as some of you have seen, we used our Rotacare Concord mobile clinic as a model of what this mobile clinic would look like, and looked at other newer clinics, because our Concord clinic is about 10 years old, and the new clinic would have 2 exam rooms, and we are in the process right now of looking at vendors. We're working with Pat Frawley, I believe he's here somewhere maybe, and looking at quotes and what are the newer options in some of these vehicles. So we will do our due diligence in working with all 3 of us, Catholic Charities and Order of Malta, and see what each organization needs in moving forward on this mobile clinic. Thank you.
Thanks, JP. Well, hi, I'm Greg Kepferly from Catholic Charities. It's great to be back here in person. So as the managing partner for the collaborative for the Rotary's mobile clinic, we're responsible for making sure that we have full wraparound services, that we're recruiting medical personnel. So we've got Rotacare in place, we've got Order of Malta that Mike will talk about. We also have residents from Kaiser. Kaiser is really excited about this, so they'll be providing residents for us 1 day a week. And we have nursing students from Mission College, and we're hoping from San Jose State as well. So also, if you have other connections with any sort of medical personnel, from doctors to nurses to whomever, let us know. Talk to any of us. We're working on our MOUs, making sure that we're seamless. Eventually, we want to get to the point when we open up that we can have this operating 5 days a week with wraparound services. So the whole point is not just the intermittent health care, but making sure that people that come to the Rotary Mobile Health Clinic can get access to the whole health system and the wraparound services to address the social determinants of health. Really excited about that, and here's Mike.
Thank you, Greg. On behalf of the Order of Malta, we're really delighted to be partnering with 2 incredible community organizations, Catholic Charities and, of course, our Rotary Club. Many of you may not know the Order of Malta. We've been around for about 900 years, and we are returning to our roots, and we're delighted to be part of this. We started in a hospital in Jerusalem, and so we've been involved in medical care and hospice care over those centuries, and so to be able to come here to San Jose now and to continue our mission, we're really delighted to do so. Our job will be to help provide the medical volunteers. We have many doctors and nurses and many connections in those fields. Non-medical volunteers, of course, are always needed, and we got plenty of those. We've got a great group here in San Jose. And last but not least, we're so committed to this project, we're going to be providing the ongoing operating cost. So the maintenance of the RV, the gasoline, the insurance, the registration. We know that those are high costs. Thank you. Those are high costs. We don't want this to be an ongoing burden for our Rotary Club. And so the Order of Malta is glad to step up and fill that void. And so, yeah, we look forward to an amazing opportunity to serve the poor and uninsured and the working immigrants here in our valley. Thank you.
Okay, so as you can see, the next steps, there's requests for vehicle bids, partner MOUs, recruitment, wraparound services budget. And at some point in the very near future, this project is going to be coming back to both the club board and the foundation board for their approval. And then the club as a whole will be voting on it, we believe, this spring. So if you have questions, please feel free to contact the committee members you saw, including Vince, who is chairing up this project, or contact a board member or myself with any questions you might have, and we'll do our best to get them answered. Okay, next I would like to bring up Randy Zeckman to talk to us about ELC.
All righty, ELC stands for Enterprise Leadership Conference. We are doing our first one in 3 years because of that damn COVID shut us down. So first one in 3 years, it's our 37th annual, started in 1984 with this group doing a Camp Enterprise. We have 79 committee members, so it's the largest committee that I think we have in our Rotary. And so if all the members can stand up, we should probably do that. Say, thanks, everybody. Great. And so what is ELC? So for those of you who don't know, ELC is, we take 96 high school juniors from 27 high schools. So there's a big recruiting effort to get these juniors from high school, take them down to Asilomar, and they come up with a concept to build a business. We help them put together a business plan and a profit and loss statement, and then they present to a panel of judges that kind of act like a Shark Tank at the end of it. So it's very moving and rewarding. And so this year we're doing something unique in the fact that it's going to be our first year where we have an alumni from this organization. So someone who was in ELC 10 years ago is going to be a judge. So we get to judge what they had done previously. And speaking of alumni, last month we had probably our most famous alumni, Sam Liccardo, who spoke to our alumni group. So we started an alumni network, and he spoke to the group about being a good citizen and whatnot. So that was great. All this happens because in 2020, when everything shut down, we were able to push over all of our funds from then. So there's no additional cost on the club, and our sponsors that we have are great, and they are sponsoring again this year, which is Heritage Bank, Plug and Play, Block Construction, Armanino, Evaneum, and the Chapman family. So if you're interested in ELC, come talk to me or Jen Simmons, who's the co-chair, and thanks, go ELC.
Great program, and I'm telling Christine Burrows right now, I am going to try very hard to get there on the 17th. And of course, we'll be hearing from ELC later in the year. Next, I'm going to give a couple of quick salutations to, as I mentioned, Matt Bell, of course, participated in the district mid-year conference despite battling the rains in Santa Cruz over the weekend. It was much worse for him than it was for a lot of us here in San Jose, but he wasn't the only Rotarian from this club who participated in that conference. Of course, Rod Diridon, who's been serving as the assistant governor for our area, lent some of his expertise on recruitment to the call. We also had Brenda Sweeney, doing a presentation, and Maggie Padovani, who's the district's public image chair, lent her expertise to the presentation, although she couldn't be there because she wasn't feeling well. But you get a salutation anyway, Maggie. So with that said, they also wanted me to let you know that the district conference is coming up at the end of April, April 29th at the Computer History Museum in Mountain View. It's a one-day conference. You can go all day, you can go for dinner or lunch. If you go without meals, it's practically free. But we'll be giving you more information about that. They have an early bird special going on until the end of the month, and we will include that information in this week's bulletin, so you can sign up. We're hoping to have some good representation at the district conference this year. And now I'd like to bring up Janica Clem to introduce our speaker. Janica.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello to all of you on Zoom as well. I am really excited to bring in today's speaker. One, because he was in my Leadership San Jose class, which, as you know, I'm very proud of now that I run that program. But two, because he brought such a great group of you out today. I'm really proud to introduce Chief Anthony Mata, and I'm going to give a really short introduction so we can hear more from him. Chief Mata is a native of Chicago, Illinois, and he joined San Jose Police Department in March of 1996. He has had a really stellar career with SJPD, starting as an officer, moving to a sergeant, a lieutenant, and then became a captain in March of 2015. He moved on to Deputy Chief of Police, and then in March of 2021, he was confirmed as the new police chief for San Jose. As a resident of San Jose, Chief Mata believes in building trust in the community by treating everyone with dignity and respect, listening to issues and applying applying policing principles established by the founder of modern policing, Sir Robert Peel, mainly, the police are the public and the public are the police. With that, I'd like to introduce Chief Mata.
Thank you, Janica. And I think we have a video to play. So we can, if we can start with that. Or do I play it? This is a challenging profession. Where ordinary people are asked to do extraordinary things. It requires strength, compassion, and dedication. Running towards danger and answering the call for service. San Jose police officers strive to exceed the highest expectations of this profession. For over 170 years, the San Jose Police Department has honored the hard work and sacrifices of those who came before us, and with humility, strive to do even better. San Jose is one of the country's greatest and most diverse cities. We build trust in our communities by getting to know our community. We connect to this community because we reflect it. We are diverse and from all walks of life, committed to each other and to this city. We never forget that what we do is a partnership with those we serve. Keeping our community safe takes leaders and mentors, a commitment to excellence and selflessness. To be a San Jose police officer, you must be willing to be your very best.
Your very best.
Your very best.
Your very best. Your very best.
Your very best. Lo mejor de ti.
我們歡迎最優秀的你加入我們。làm giỏi và xuất sắc.
To be part of the very best. Okay, so who wants to join? Right, this is very fitting in terms of we're talking about the recruitment, and we are also recruiting. So we have more to say about that, but I want to start with that
because we have amazing men and women on this department that go out every single day to keep our community safe. And I'll just throw out some stats here because I'm very proud of the work that our women and men do every day. And just to, to highlight some of this. So last year, our officers responded to 350,000 calls for service. I'm sorry, that's in 21. 22, last year, we did 380 calls for service that officers have gone to, responded. And that's not including the over 1 million calls that our dispatchers get throughout the year. Arrests, that's what we do, right? When things don't go right. We average about, in 21, we averaged 17,000 arrests. In 22, that was up a little bit to 18,000. And we talk about trust in our community, the use of force, and I'll just throw some numbers out here. We had 715 incidents back in 2020. In 21, we went down to 467. And this last year, I'm expecting it to be that same number, under 500. So we talk about trust and what we're doing in terms of training, de-escalation. I believe that this is a result of that, in addition to the wonderful men and women that we have here. In terms of firearms that we seized, last year it was 963 firearms that our officers seized off the streets. Sorry, in 21. And last year it was 1,214, 1,200 firearms. Almost 400 were ghost guns, the ones that we are working towards legislating so not to have. Citations, I know we always get talked about our traffic enforcement unit, how short they are, and the number of fatalities that traffic fatalities that we had here in this city. There are only 18 motor officers that we have. We're authorized for 30, and I'll talk about more about our staffing. But in 21, they issued 15,500 citations. These are 18 individuals that go out there. Last year, they issued 19,000 traffic citations. Again, throughout the city, in an attempt to keep our community safe, the motorists safe, our pedestrians safe. Unfortunately, we have a high number of traffic fatalities. Another stat I wanted to throw out, our homicide unit. Last year, solved 95% of the homicides. Thank you. If we include the cold cases that they investigated, their clearance rate is well over 100%. I want to say about 110% when we add those cold cases that they solved from the previous year. And you probably saw in the news, we already had 2 homicides this year, which they solved. So again, our detectives are doing amazing work. And not to mention, last year we've had major cases. We had the Home Depot fire. Our officers were able to identify that individual and take him into custody. And then we also had the baby Brandon case, the kidnapping of the infant that happened here in our city. We were able to identify those individuals responsible for that, and they're going through the process now. But again, I just wanted to highlight the great work that our men and women do every day. And we always hear, right, that we are one of the thinly staffed police departments of a major city. And you've heard a previous mayor, and we'll hear it again today and in the future, because we are working towards getting our numbers up. When I started, back, and also in 2008, the highest number that we had was 1,400 officers. Right now, we're at 1,100. I'll talk about some of the priorities and what we're doing. And I just wanted to give you a state of the department. But I want to let you know that my vision for this department, ever since I became the chief, is that everyone in this city have the highest trust and confidence in this police department. And the way we're going to achieve that, and the way we have been achieving that, is through providing excellent service at all levels, and also building those strong relationships with our communities. Because that's what we need to do, and that's why we, as law enforcement, exist. Some of the priorities that I've established is to stabilize our resources, and I'll talk about that. That's going to be our staffing, our equipment, our training, and our budget. The other thing is, other priority is to continually improve. Law enforcement is always changing, right? I'm talking about some of the recommendations and police reforms that we've been involved in, but that's important. As a business, we all know, some of you are all business owners. We have to constantly improve, constantly change the way we provide a service, right, to provide that best service. And then the final priority of mine is to increase our community engagement. Again, bar none, we wouldn't exist without the community, and that's why we're here, is to serve our community the best we can. But in order to serve our community, we have to know them, we have to listen to them, and we have to provide the service that is required of each community, because each community is different. So I'll go into what I mean by stabilizing our resources. So as I mentioned, our city's one of the thinly staffed. It's a large city, over 181 square miles, over 1 million people here in this city. So I have a total of 1,740 employees, which includes 1,173 sworn officers and 550 or a little over that of civilian employees. And that includes our community service officers that you see in the white vehicle and the blue uniforms, our dispatchers, our records unit, our safety patrol folks that are out there, our crossing guards. So in total, we have over 1,700 employees. In comparison, the cities up to the north, San Francisco, has a population of 875,000. They have 2,100 employees. San Diego has 1.4 million, and they have 1,800 employees. Austin, which we always get compared, whether it's 10th or the 11th largest city, they have over 1 million in population. They have 1,800 employees. And in Dallas, where the former chief is at now, Eddie Garcia, he has a population of 1.3 million, but he has 3,100 employees. And just to put in comparison as well, Los Angeles, right, big city, 4 million people, they have 9,400 employees. And my old city of Chicago, over 2.6 million in population, and they have 12,000 officers there. So again, just to put that into perspective, in terms of the resources, the budget, our police department, and thank you to the council members here present, and the former mayor and the current mayor. We over the last few years, we've heard defunding the police and try to not fund equipment and training, but that was not the case here. Right, we maintained our budget here for the police department in order to keep our community safe. Just to give you, and thank you. And again, our proposed budget for 22-23 is at $493 million. I know, again, I'm speaking to a lot of business owners. That's a lot of change, right? A lot of money, but 91% of it goes to personnel. 9% goes to, and the remaining goes to training and equipment. And some of the things that we've added in this last budget was the foot patrols here downtown, our mobile crisis assessment team that responds to folks in mental health crisis, and other programs, again, the hire ahead to ensure that our attrition or our staffing keeps up with the attrition. But one thing that I'm proud of is that, again, our city council and our mayor added to our base budget staffing, about 20 to 25 officers each year, depending on the budget, to increase that. So very thankful for that. But again, to put that into perspective, San Francisco, like I mentioned, their budget is $714 million. Oakland, which is a lot smaller, about $600 million. LA, of course, a large city department, $1.8 billion. Chicago PD, $1.7 billion. And then New York, $5.9 billion. So again, these are the budgets that police departments have to work with. But again, given our size and what we are able to do, again, being the most thinly staffed, we provide a good service. And I know that what the city council and the mayors also had put forward is to provide us with a training center. And that's going to be about $30 million. And we'll probably see that within the 4 or 5 years from now. Right now, we only have one building, which is the headquarters downtown. And we also have the Southern Substation where we train our academy. And that initially was going to be for our Southern Division. However, because of the decrease in numbers and staffing, we had to use that facility as a training facility. And once we get that training facility up and running, we'll move the training component to the new facility and then use the substation what it was meant for, to provide that service again to our Southern Division population. In terms of equipment and training, we always talk about what we need, right, to have a professional police department. Well, I think we need the equipment and the training to have a professional police department. And on an annual basis, the state of California requires our officers to have annual training on a variety of topics, whether it be de-escalation, racial profiling, use of force, domestic violence, whatever the state deems that is necessary. That's what we train at. And in addition to that, we work with some members of the San Jose Police Foundation. They also help us fund some of the equipment that we need, whether it be canines, vests, some breaching tools to access certain buildings, things of that nature that, again, are not funded by the budget. So, one of the asks that I'll ask is if you haven't been in touch with the San Jose Police Foundation, please do, because they are a tremendous partner in helping us move our needs forward. Second priority that I talked about is continuous improvement, or what I call, or what we've been dealing with is police reform or reimagining public safety. I understand that not every situation requires a police response, but we are a partner in keeping our community safe. So however that looks like, that's something that we need to be a part of the discussions to see what that will look like. I know that, our city's plagued with the unhoused, some folks that need some mental health services. But again, we have some resources that respond to those. But again, we are one partner in that. And just to give you what we're doing, and again, I want to acknowledge that our profession hasn't been the best, right? We have a past that we need to reckon with, and we need to reconcile the things that we've done. And I'm all for making those changes and improving those relationships with our community. So right now, currently, we're working on about 500 recommendations to see how we can improve our department. I know, you all like to be told what to do when you guys run your business, but this is something that we're dealing with, and we'll work with that. But again, looking at having that discussions with other stakeholders to see how we can provide those services. And then my final priority is again increasing our community engagement. You've seen the video. We go out and do business walks, neighborhood walks, work with our communities to ensure that we provide the best service that we can. And in order to do that, we tell our officers to get out of their cars, meet our communities, have discussions, listen, meet people, because that's the only way we're going to make a difference, is by speaking with our community, knowing what type of services that they need, so we can provide the best services possible. And like I said, sometimes those services don't involve a police response, but we are that bridge to provide those other resources. And that's what our officers are out there to do. One of the things that I want to touch base on as well, real quickly here, is where we're at now. Well, I, along with my executive team, developed a strategic plan to move our department forward, to again leverage these limited resources and provide direction to our men and women, to our council, and to our community as to where we're at and how we're going to use those resources and provide those services. So that's something that we're going to roll out here this year. One of the things too that that we and the reason why I showed the video and we put these on your tables is I'm going to make an ask, right? Because we have some challenges right now in recruiting, right? We're having a difficulty recruiting not only here in San Jose, but nationwide in terms of law enforcement. And we believe it's because of the negative sentiment of law enforcement by the media and others. And as a result, we have some folks that are not interested as much as they used to be here in law enforcement. Also, some of the challenges that we have is some of the policy and legislation, right, has been pushed on from Sacramento or others that limit what we can do. So we need to look at that. So my ask of you is to support our police department by not only referring good people to the San Jose Police Department, but also recognizing the great work that our men and women do. And also speaking with your electeds, both at the city, county, state, federal level, right, to work with us or all of us, right, because we're just one part of the criminal justice system, so we can have these discussions and how we can provide better services and see what we need to fix in order to hold folks accountable of those that commit crimes. But again, we're a partner in keeping our community safe, not only as an office, as a police department, but also each one of us as a community. So we need to move forward with that. So with that, we'll take some questions.
Thank you so much, Chief. So we are going to have 2 roaming mics going around, and then I'm going to be monitoring Zoom and helping to facilitate Q&A for our Chief Mata here. It looks like we will start with Larry. Hello, Larry.
Well, thank you so much, Chief Mata, for being here. I'm really proud of the leadership of the city and the citizens to reject all that nonsense about defunding the police. The last half a dozen or so chiefs of San Jose have retired in their early to mid 50s. And because the benefits are great to retire, the law says you can retire when you're age of 50 if you're in law enforcement. Of those, only one went into the private sector. The remaining of them became chiefs of police in other cities. San Diego, Dallas, which you mentioned, and many others. My question is, for you is, because that happens so early, all before the age of 60, every single one of them were retired. My question to you is, what is your plans?
Just an easy one.
Well, if I'd have to pay property taxes, I'll probably stay longer, but...
Well done.
But being a resident of San Jose, my family's here. My daughters will be graduating here. Well, one will be graduating from high school here soon. I have another one that's a sophomore in high school, and I have a young son that's in 6th grade. So I'll be here for a while, whether it be in San Jose, at the San Jose Police Department, or some other capacity here in this city, because this is my city now. I've been here for 27 years. I don't know what the future holds for me. We always joke around as chiefs, we're only one call away from being fired, right? You know, we have a great community here, have great support at City Council and the mayor. So my plan is to stay, unless the man upstairs says otherwise. So that's where I'm at.
Thanks, Chief. We're glad you're staying. John Ball.
Hi, over here. So I got two things. First, the San Jose Police helicopter. I bought a couple of rides along on that with through auction, and if that is not a requirement of an elected official in our city and county, because I know that the county also benefits from our San Jose Police helicopter, I think it ought to be a required ride-along, because I personally have seen the value of that helicopter and how quickly they can respond and provide officers on the ground with information before they get there that's very helpful to their safety and the safety of those around them. That was one thing I just wanted to say. But what I really want to do is put you on the spot a little bit. And that is, what is it you would like to see different from our city council and mayor that would help the police do a better job and do your job more effectively in San Jose?
Sure. Again, like I mentioned, we have had tremendous support from the former mayor, the current mayor, and the current city council to provide us the equipment and training that we need. And again, that's to include increasing our staffing. And I realize that becoming an officer or funding an officer is expensive, and we have other priorities. And I'm glad you mentioned the helicopter, because we are pushing a budget proposal for a fixed wing, which is more efficient and effective in terms of maintenance than a helicopter is, and will provide the same resource for our officers in order to keep them safe, keep the community safe. And you're right, they do respond quickly. They keep everyone safe. In fact, I think my assistant chief posted on his Twitter account the successes that our aircraft has been able to help our officers by locating stolen vehicles, wanted vehicles, and not having our officers pursue those individuals. But one of the asks is we're asking in this budget cycle, or this upcoming budget, another fixed wing, another aircraft. We have to leverage technology, because as we talked about, we have a low staffing level. But we have to leverage the resources that we have, but also include technology as part of that to, not only keep our officers safe, help them do their job, but keep you all safe as well.
Quickly, Chief, on that, does the helicopter and the potential fixed wing, does that come out of San Jose, or what facility is being used quickly?
Yes, it's coming out of the San Jose airport. And yes, we are going to build a new hangar through the Measure T funds, so we can store both the helicopter and the fixed wing. We used to have a fixed wing before, it had to be retired, but I think we see the value in that.
Great, thank you. And that was a call up to Councilmember Cohen and Foley potentially to get in these guys. So
yes, hi, good afternoon, Chief. My name is Tim Gill, and I just want to thank you for what you do and all the officers for still making San Jose one of the safest cities in the United States with the resources that you do have. And the question I have is, how do you, from a practical standpoint, how do you keep the morale up with the public perception of police officers, but also maybe the change in bail requirements and maybe not prosecuting certain crimes to the full extent? And also, one other gentleman here wants to know what you're going to do about sideshows.
Well, we'll start with the easy one first, sideshows. We have been addressing sideshows, right? And those are, spur of the moment. We have 200 or 300 vehicles descending upon our city in various parts of our city, and they have increased in violence, shootings, and the like. But again, given our limited resources, our officers have addressed those. We can't be everywhere because it takes I think the last sideshow that we dealt with was over here off of Monterey. It took, I think, 50 to 60 officers to maintain and control over 300 vehicles and issued all the citations that we did. So it is resource intensive. So when they show up, our police department will be there. In terms of how we keep up the morale, you're right. We're one part of the criminal justice system, right? We have the prosecutors, we have judiciary, we have corrections, right? So that's one thing we have to remind our officers is that we're just one part of that, and we're going to do our job the best that we can, regardless if individuals get released or are back on the streets. We have to do our job when we get called to keep our community safe. And that's why when I mentioned that we need to speak with our electeds at all levels, right, to have those discussions, what alternatives are there, what solutions are there that we all need to work on. And part of that is being transparent in terms of what we're doing, what's working, what's not working, and share that information so that together we can work together to keep our community safe, keep those and hold those individuals accountable, whether if they're committing crimes or if they need some type of substance abuse health or mental health treatment, and that's an alternative that we can take those individuals to, because we understand that jail is not the answer for some. In terms of morale, we have great people here. I think we're one of the most educated police departments around, and speaking with the other agencies, our officers are required to have a 2-year degree, but you'll see a lot of our officers have a college degree, and a lot of our command officers have a master's degree. So what we're going to continue doing is pushing education, maybe partnerships with local colleges here and universities, Santa Clara, San Jose State, which I'm a product of. That's where I got my graduate degree, but also providing opportunities for our officers, because they've been through a lot this last several years, and we have to take care of them. Officer wellness for me is very important. So again, listening to our officers, seeing what they need, much like our community, providing a direction for them through the strategic plan, give them guidance, and supporting them any way we can. That's how we keep up morale. And I think that continuing this with my leadership group, we have been doing that, and rooting out and identifying those that shouldn't be here, right? Because we're not perfect, right? This last year has been difficult for us with some officers with their egregious and serious misconduct. When we identify those, we're going to address it, and they have no place in the San Jose Police Department. So that's where we keep them around.
We have time for one last question in the room. Ron, a quick one, please. Oh, sorry. Do you have a quick thing, Arthur?
Thank you, Chief.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Chief.
Go ahead, Ron, and then I'll try to get
Thank you, Chief, for visiting. You talked briefly about the partnership that the police department has with other organizations to address mental health crises in our streets and beyond. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Who are you partnering with, et cetera? Thank you.
Sure. So we have a mobile crisis assessment team, which is a team of, or two teams, of 4 officers each with a sergeant. We also have a PERT team, which is a psychiatric emergency response team that also is partnered up with a county clinician. So the officer and the county clinician go out when we receive calls of someone in crises. But the mobile crisis assessment team are always out there, right? And they're partnering with, again, county clinicians, other service providers, whether it be the Veterans Affairs or others that can provide resources for the individual. So when officers respond, right, they do an evaluation not only of their condition, but what resources can we provide? those individuals. So we partner with a variety of nonprofits and to include the county, because they're the ones that also have a lot of the resources to provide those individuals with those type of services. So that's something that I want to increase, and that's something that it's important because, like I mentioned, not everything is a police response or requires folks to go to jail. We need to provide alternatives and treatment for those individuals. So that's how that works. And we recently received some funding from Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren to continue with that program.
Chief, thank you so much. I want to add to Ashley Bruni's sentiments online that thank you so much for your service and for all you do to help keep our community safe. We have heard the call up that we need to be recruiting and helping to find the next generation of SJPD to come in and join our wonderful police force. Thank you again for coming to Rotary. We really do appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Danica.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Janica. And Chief, a donation is being made on your behalf to History San Jose, which of course helps preserve our city's heritage, including that of the San Jose Police Department. A couple of quick end of meeting announcements. Please make sure you bus your tables. We have a lot of people in here, so it'll help staff if you throw away your cups and plates. Next week, our speaker will be Anne Marie Todd, an author from San Jose State University, speaking on the evolution of Silicon Valley. She's got a fascinating book. She's a great individual. I really look forward to you guys hearing from her. And next week on the 25th, we are going to have another Taste of San Jose. So introducing you or reintroducing you to one of our classic eateries, and there might be something in it for you. So see you next week. Keep the good times rolling.